If you're trying to eat gluten-free but still feel bloated, inflamed, or just unwell, even after removing wheat, there's a good chance it's because gluten isn't just found in wheat. So today we're going to clear up one of the biggest misunderstandings about gluten-free eating. Hi, I'm Tracey from New Beginnings Health and Wellness, and today what I'm going to talk to you about is what gluten actually is, because it's something that a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to talk about where it hides, why some people continue having symptoms even after switching to a traditional gluten-free diet. So most people actually believe gluten is only in wheat, barley, and rye. But the definition is extremely limited, okay? And this is stuff you're not going to normally hear. So gluten is actually a family of storage proteins, and every grain contains its own version of that protein. So it has a different name of protein. So wheat, for example, is gliadin. Barley is hordein. So these are some different examples. They're all different proteins, but of the same family. So even though the names are different, your immune system can still recognize these proteins as similar enough to gluten to trigger an inflammatory response. And so this is why many people continue to have symptoms, even on a gluten-free diet that still includes grains like corn, oats, and rice. So if you have celiac disease, if you have a true gluten sensitivity, or if you have an autoimmune condition, or an ongoing inflammation problem in your body, the safest and most healing approach is often just to remove all the grains, not just wheat, barley, and rye. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is where gluten hides. So gluten-containing grains and their cousins show up in breads, pastas, cereals. They can even show up in, well, of course, in crackers, but sauces, gravies, dressings, packaged or processed foods, basically like anything breaded or coated in anything. And like I said, seasonings is a really popular one. And even in supplements, you can find gluten and medications. So oats are actually one of the biggest problems because they're almost always contaminated with wheat. And during growing and processing, even when they're labeled gluten-free, oats are still a grain. So it's still going to carry that family protein. Corn and rice are common replacements in gluten-free products as well. But their proteins can still be very inflammatory, especially if you're highly sensitive. And once again, still a grain. So I want to talk to you now about better gluten-free swaps. So the good news is you don't actually have to give up your favorite meal. You just rebuild them with ingredients your body can actually tolerate. So some great swaps will include almond flour, cassava flour, coconut flour, cauliflower rice, which is delicious, and different grain-free breads and tortillas, but just make sure it says grain-free, not gluten-free. And then sweet potato or cassava-based pastas, and you can also get pea-based pastas. These options give you structure, texture, and flavor without the grain proteins that trigger that inflammation. So once you know which ingredients contain reactive proteins, adapting recipes becomes really simple. Just replace wheat flour with almond, coconut, or cassava. I actually do a mix, which you'll find in my recipe book. You can swap breadcrumbs for almond flour or hemp hearts. You can choose grain-free pastas, and just read your seasonings and sauces carefully. Avoid gluten-free processed foods made from corn, rice, and oats, or any other grains. You guys, the more you practice, the more natural this becomes. Understanding what gluten really is, I know sometimes can be a challenge, and how many grains can mimic its effects. So this will give you the clarity you need to cook safely and confidently. So in the next video, I'm going to take this a step further and talk about setting up your gluten-free kitchen for success. I'll see you there.